Hey guys, David Patrick Green, Hack Hollywood, davidpatrickgreen.com, actorpower.com, and just going to cover one of the basics of acting that I think is also probably one of the hardest parts of acting for most people, and that's memorizing your lines. But if you actually follow this very short, simple process, I think you'll find that learning your lines is not hard at all. In fact, it barely involves learning your lines. So what is the process? Okay, well, let's say you get one scene to learn. It could be 3 scenes, but you're going to do one scene at a time. You get your material and you read the scene. Okay, you read it. Read it a few times. You don't think about your part. You read it like it's a story, okay? Read it like the writer wrote it. A person walks into the bank, they go up to the teller, they hand the teller a note. The teller reads the note. It says, "This is a bank robbery. Go get your manager and tell him to go open the safe." The camera follows the teller to the bank manager. The bank manager reads the note and panics. The bank manager says, "Who gave you this note?" The teller says, "If I tell you she's going to kill someone." The bank manager panics even more. ... Okay, so you see what I'm talking about. The whole point of this process is to learn the story like a fairy tale, like Goldilocks and the 3 bears, okay? You learn it so you understand all of the facts and all of the circumstances so that there's no misunderstandings, no confusions. You're not adding anything that isn't there. You are just aware of every single circumstance and fact within the scene. Okay, so then what you're going to do, and so what I would do then before I jump ahead is I would tell myself the story just the way I did. A person walks into a bank, he goes up to the teller, he gives the teller a note, the teller reads the note, blah, 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 okay? So you read it as though it's a story. I don't know who you are in this. You could be the teller, you could be the person who walks in, you could be the bank manager. It doesn't matter. The story is the story. It doesn't change. It doesn't matter who's playing what. The story is the story, right? Goldilocks and the 3 bears. The story is the story. The facts never change. Okay? So now, what do you do next? You get some kind of voice recorder, like on your phone. I've got a voice recorder on my phone. I record all of the other people's lines except for my own, and I leave enough space for me to say my lines. Okay, I don't need to figure out what the gap is and should I pause and laugh and blah, blah, blah. Just enough time to comfortably say your lines, okay? So I'm going to record, this is a stick up. Oh my gosh, what do you want me to do? Go talk to the manager, that's what you're doing. You don't need to record time for the person to walk to the bank manager and do all these actions because that will be shown on the camera. It doesn't have anything to do with an audition scenario, okay? So in an audition scenario, you would basically just act as though those things had happened really quickly and you're talking through them, okay? So then you play the lines back and you don't say anything. You just react like you're a mute person, almost like a gorilla or a dog who understands English but can't speak it, okay? So this scene is happening. People are talking to you. They are doing what they're doing, and you are observing the whole thing and reacting to it as though you could speak, but you can't speak. So, if someone says, "You're a piece of, doo-doo," you're going to react as you would to that, but you can't say anything back, okay? That's all you're doing. So you know the circumstances, you know what's actually happening, and you know who you are in the circumstances, and now you're just going to respond, okay? Pure honesty, no preconceived ideas, no, oh, maybe I should do it this way, maybe I should do it that way. Do you think they want this? Do you think they want it this way? You don't have to think about any of that stuff, and you never actually do. You never will. Directors hardly ever speak to actors when it comes to movies and TV. But that's a whole different subject. So that's the first pass. The second pass is you just do it again, but this time you improvise your responses. So you have the same thoughts and feelings that you had in the first pass, but this time you just make up something to say that feels like what is happening to you, and that's how you would say it. Like, you know, so somebody says, let's say you're the teller, and somebody says, this is a stick up. Okay, you're just minding your own business at a bank, and somebody comes up and sticks a note in your hand, and it says, this is a stick up. What do? You know, like, oh my God. Like, oh my God, this is actually happening. I can't believe this. You know, whatever it is, it doesn't matter. I'm not here to show you how to do it. I'm just giving you an example. That's what you would do. Improvise, okay? Whatever the scene is, just say what you feel like saying. There's no right or wrong, okay? And then you go through the scene that way one time. Then, finally, you look at the lines, and now you know how you feel and you know what you would say. And now all you have to do is add the words of the writer, and chances are the words of the writer, you're going to be almost on top of them. You're probably somewhere between 50 to 80% already there, because you read the scene already and you told it as a story. So it's like Goldilocks and the Three Bears, okay? Part of the story of Goldilocks and the Three Bears is what Goldilocks and the Three Bears say to one another. And what do they say? It's like, this porridge is too hot. This porridge is too cold. This porridge is perfect. Same with the beds. This bed's too hard. This bed's too soft. This bed is perfect. Okay? So you pretty much know what everybody's saying already, and you've improvised it, so you know how it's going to feel to you. Although it doesn't have to feel the same every time. You just react as you feel like as you should. And the third time around is you just look back at the lines again, and you see that, oh, yeah, okay, those are the lines. Kind of what I've already been saying. And so then you do a pass with the writer's lines, and it's going to come to you so easily and quickly because you've already done this sort of mute animal version, an improvised version, and now you're adding the writer's lines. Okay? And so it becomes almost automatic. You almost can't help but learn it. Like if I told you the story of Goldilocks and the Three Bears, you could probably go out on stage and act it out pretty accurately without even trying. Like it would almost be impossible to get it wrong, right? And that's what's going to happen with your acting. It'll be almost impossible to get it wrong. And in television and film, it doesn't really matter if you get it wrong because they just wrote the stuff yesterday. It's not Shakespeare. It's not Goldilocks and the Three Bears. It's not something that anyone's ever heard of. The characters are unknown. The characters are brand new for every episode and every movie. Nobody's ever seen these characters before, unless you're playing, you know, some familiar character. But then if you're playing it and you never played it before, then they want you to play it the way you would play it, right? They don't want you to play it. Like if you're playing Batman, they don't want you to do it the way George Clooney did it or Christian Bale did it or Michael Keaton did it. They want you to do it the way you would do it, okay? So you don't have to worry about icons. And it's the same with Shakespeare. Yeah, you need to get the lines right in Shakespeare. They're not too big on improvising because the lines are very precise. But that's a whole different ballgame. But if you go through this process, it's certainly going to help you even memorize things like Shakespeare because you know what the feel of it is. And so once you've got the feel, the words are very easy. So basically that's the entire process. I mean, you're going to do it 2, 3, 4 times maybe to get close to the words, but you really don't want to lose that spontaneity and that improvised real feel of the material. And what you could do is you could videotape yourself, especially if you haven't done this a lot, if you're just starting out to learn this technique, is just videotape yourself first doing the animalistic version, then maybe you could videotape every version if you want, but in particular you want to compare the most improvised version with the version with the lines, because if you're seemingly believable, improvised, or just listening, like, you know, whatever that is, if it looks real, then you should look like you're more or less going through the same set of emotions and the same feelings when you're doing it with the writer's lines, okay? And that is the biggest mistake most people make, especially beginner actors, is they look at the lines and they try to decide how to behave based on what they are saying rather than based on what they are feeling from going through the circumstances of this scene. So whatever they stuck you in, that's what you want to try and live through. Okay, I'm a person who stumbled onto a cottage full of bears where there's hot porridge and there's comfortable beds and I want a nap. Okay, just live yourself through that. Like, hello, is anyone there? Oh my gosh. Wow, that porridge, that steaming hot porridge. Oh, that's hot. Ooh, what about this one? Oh gosh, that's really cold. Oh, this is nice. Oh, this is delicious. I wonder if I can get any brown sugar or something for this. Oh, I'm so tired. Oh, I feel like a nap. Oh, nobody's home. I hope they wouldn't mind if I have a nap here. Oh, and I'm going to get in the bed. And that's basically what you need to be doing as an actor, is living through these things. So most actors have a process, but if you have any difficulty memorizing lines, or you have a problem maybe giving line readings, which is, trying to sound like you think the line wants you to sound like, which is a huge mistake. Don't do that. Be real. Be in the scene. Live through it. Try and place yourself into it. And the easiest way to do that is not being worried about what it is you have to say, and you just trust that the right things will come out of your mouth. Okay, so that's basically in a nutshell, guys. If you have any questions, let me know. I do have a course called 30-Minute Auditions that teaches this and with more detail. If you're interested, let me know. Or if you want to talk about other things that I can help you with, like coaching, etc., 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 give me a shout, David at Hack Hollywood, or try and send me a direct message, or even leave a comment for this video. I'm out of here.